What's up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And wanted to talk about Cosmic Crucible today and to ultimately answer the question whether or not we overreacted to Cosmic Crucible. And the reason why I say that is because I've been hearing a lot of negative thoughts, some positive, of course, as well, but a lot of negative thoughts towards the game mode. And I sort of wanted to take a little bit of an objective approach in regards to assessing the game mode right now. It's been about 3 weeks since it's been out. We've been experiencing some rewards. There were definitely some hiccups in the very beginning, but kind of wanted to take a little bit of an approach here to assess the game mode, see how things have been so far, talk about the pros and the cons, why I think some of the feedback itself has also been negative, assess the rewards, like are the rewards actually good, talk about the timing of the game mode, and then also some improvements as well that I would like to see come to Cosmic Crucible. And of course, want to hear what your guys' thoughts are in regards to some of those as well. But let's dive into it, guys. So some of the things that I definitely do like about Cosmic Crucible is that I think it's a better game mode. It's better PvP game mode than RTA. I mean, RTA, when it was implemented, was just hot garbage. Nobody ever liked it, but this game mode, when introduced, I think a lot of players actually enjoyed it. And I think one of the reasons why is because it was play tested, right? It was something that was play tested. There was some feedback that was given. There were some minor tweaks and some minor changes that were made from when I play tested it, from when others play tested it, that I think contributed to why the game mode is a little bit better. They also seem to take a little bit more time in actually implementing the game mode. Now, I know a lot of us were kind of just anticipating and waiting for this game mode to be introduced into MSF, but I do think that them taking more time to make sure that it was actually properly doctored and things were at least visually appealing. Like, I like a lot of the visuals in the game mode too. Some issues that I do have there, but I think that sort of contributed to it being sort of a nice little game mode. I do also think that it's not an inconvenient game mode for me. Right, what I mean by that is it's not like Blitz, where I feel like I kind of have to log in and Blitz, and I have to do it every 2 hours if I'm pushing for a particular character or if I'm pushing for an event. I don't feel as if though I have to do that. With Cosmic Crucible, you can do it at any point in time throughout the day. As long as you do it within the 24-hour period, you can do it at any point in time throughout the day. So if you only log in once a day for a casual player who just logs in once a day, or maybe logs in twice a day, that time whenever you log in, you can go in and kind of just do your Cosmic Crucible matchups and then get your points and get your rewards. So I do like it for that as well. I also like the fact too that, like, for the teams that you've already built and that you're already using for your raid content, for arena, for past arena, for war matchups, right? Whatever your Dark Dimension, whatever you've already built already, you can use those teams. Now, of course, we got to say, sort of in respect to the fact that there are going to be these teams that are going to be coming to Marvel Strike Force that are going to be Cosmic Crucible teams. So of course, a lot of us, if you're a super sweaty player or you want to be competitive in Cosmic Crucible, then of course you are going to want to invest into those teams and make sure that you do have them on deck and ready. So yeah, I mean, with respect to that, right? But for the most part, other game modes, other teams that you invest into, you're going to be able to use them in this game mode. Because like I said, I don't think it's a game mode that you can ignore. But I think you're going to be okay because matchmaking seems to be fairly elo. So to a certain extent, yeah, you can kind of pick and choose what you invest into because you've already invested into some teams that can already begin in the game mode already. But I also want to say this. I mean, the rewards are pretty good. I did a quick math on it yesterday and kind of talked about this and sort of did a little bit of a breakdown. Like, if you win, you have you go into 6 rooms. If you get all knockouts for those 6 rooms, so 125 times 5 per knockout, that's what you get per room. 625 times 6 rooms, that's 3,750 points for each trial, and you do 3 trials per weekend. So if you get all of your knockouts there, then you're going to get 11,250 Cosmic Crucible credits, right? Which I think is pretty good. And then of course, on top of that, you get your rank rewards, but just for doing your matchups alone, if you're pushing for like mini uniques, which is basically what I do in regards to teal gear with my Cosmic Crucible credits, because I'm decently okay on an orange gear. I can get orange gear from other places. Teal gear is a little bit more of a hot commodity that is not readily accessible, available to every player in every game mode. So therefore, I do want to focus on mini uniques because those are harder to get to, because you really can only get those from the Armory 16s or from the supply store. So therefore, I do kind of target that. That is $29.25. So by just doing my Cosmic Crucible matchup and getting all my knockouts over the weekend, I am going to be able to purchase mini uniques at least 3 times, I believe, which is going to give me a total of 9 pieces. And of course, that is excluding whatever my rank rewards are. My rank rewards, it gives me Elite Crucible credits. It also gives me my rank rewards for my Cosmic Crucible credits. So I'm going to be able to purchase more pieces. And based on where I'm at right now, I usually get about 1,600 at least at a bare minimum. If I wanted to purchase just the uniques again, $29.25, I'm going to get 5 purchases of that, which is 5 times 3. That's 16 pieces. So 16 pieces plus 9 pieces. That's what? You know, you can do the math on how many pieces you're going to be able to get over a weekend period here. So for me personally, I think the rewards are fine just by doing sort of the bare minimum, very little effort, going in, getting your knockouts, getting the rewards. You're going to be able to get some pretty good resources here. If you don't want to buy mini uniques, if you want to buy origin gear, you can make your currency stretch for you in that regard as well. Now, some things that people don't really like about Cosmic Crucible. First is kind of like a comparison thing, right? Like if you're a player that's played Swogo and you play Grand Arena, you probably like that game mode a little bit more, and there's just a little bit more features that are available there. But the reality is, like, Grand Arena has been around for quite some time. Cosmic Crucible is like in its infancy stages. This is preseason, literally. It's not even like the actual, this is not its final form. It's kind of the way I look at Cosmic Crucible right now, and they are taking some feedback. They do acknowledge some of the things that we don't like, which we're going to talk about here. So yeah, I mean, there is that comparison thing, right? Like you kind of enjoy Swogo a little bit more, the Grand Arena a little bit more. Then if you're comparing that to Cosmic Crucible, it's just really not a complete comparison as of yet. This is kind of just a shell of what that game mode is. The first week bugs were also not encouraging, right? Like you're getting more points, and then you're still losing the matchup, the trial matchup, which is unfortunate. It just kind of, and that one didn't make any sense to me, right? Because it was just like a point. It's like, you have more points, you should win. Why are you losing? That didn't make any sense to me at all. So that was a hiccup. And of course, they fixed the blitz bug on that same weekend instead of actually fixing Cosmic Crucible. Now, I do think that they're both different in terms of the fact that it's easier to fix one than it is to fix the other. So I can see why that probably happened. But of course, it sort of always happens that way, right? Where something is benefiting the players, they fix that immediately. When something that, you know, is not benefiting the players, they don't fix that when it should be fixed. So I can definitely see the frustration where that is concerned as well. In the Cosmic Crucible matchup, the visual is weird, right? Like it's zoomed out. You can't properly see the buffs. That's kind of, it's hard sometimes to kind of figure out, okay, well, which person actually has that buff, which person has that positive effect, which person has that debuff, right? The visual makes it very challenging as well. Room 5 is another conundrum, Cosmic Catastrophe. There's so many cosmic characters that are in Marvel Strike Force, and kind of just having a room like that is inconvenient, but also it's kind of like not working properly, unless I just don't understand the mechanics of that room. So if you put a team in there, like a full Black Order team, right, they don't get slowed down because there is no other character that's not cosmic. So I guess it's not triggering the negative buff, as to where if you use a team like Darkhold, you're going to slow down Doctor Strange because he's the cosmic character. So when any other character that's not cosmic takes a turn, then they slow down that cosmic character. So like room 5 is like is just a weird scenario. So kind of just needed to sort of figure out what that is. There's a start tech bug. So if you go into a matchup, the team, or if you're loading into a matchup or you're trying to pick your teams, you can't really see the proper power level of that team. It's sort of misleading going into the matchup because you don't really know exactly how powerful that team is. And you can kind of be a little blindsided, right? Depending on how your team's invested into, you can be a little blindsided going into a matchup and saying, well, it said that they were 400K when in reality they were much higher than that. And I think that that's a StarTech bug. It's not been confirmed yet, but I think that that's what it is. That's the reason why we're kind of sort of seeing some of those things happening when you're kind of loading into those matchups. There's also the issue with some of these lopsided matchups, right? Like I went into a matchup this weekend where he has Dormammu. I don't have Dormammu. Like, what am I going to do against Dormammu? I was able to beat it because I had Darkhold on offense. I left Scarlet Witch on defense, but I was still able to kind of get through it by using Doom with Darkhold, and I was able to win the matchup. But what happens if somebody gets matched up with somebody that has Dormammu or a bunch of people that have Dormammus? Then that's just unfortunate. Now I know that's like kind of like how Elo works, right? Like you win a couple matchups and then they kind of give you a matchup where that's probably out of your class. That's kind of how things work. But it's just kind of unfortunate, and I see that matchmaking be a little bit problematic, especially for players who want to be competitive in this game mode. There's also opponents not caring about the matchups too, so they throw things on defense. They just leave their hand team on defense, which if you're a competitive player, that is unexciting for you. So there should be a way to kind of take some of those players out, but unfortunately, just like War, you get alliances that shell. That kind of is what happens sometimes in a lot of these different sort of matchups, or people just forget. People have lives, right? And they kind of just forget to put things on defense. So then you're kind of going to get that sort of, that's just what's going to happen, right? Then there's also like these time sinks that go into it too. I've heard some players say that it's just another thing for me to do. I'm a little frustrated with all these things going on. We have these month-long events now, these grindy blitz events. Oh, and then I have to also do Cosmic Crucible. So I feel like this is more of a product of a lot of other game modes going on, a lot of other things that are happening. And then you also have to do Cosmic Crucible. Because personally for me, I think Cosmic Crucible has been a fun game mode. I've enjoyed it, but I have also had that exact same feeling of, dude, I just logged in and blitzed 5 times today. I don't want to do, and I had War, and I don't want to do this. I had to do my arena attacks. I had to check the store. I had to log in every single time that there was a energy we got the energy refreshes, to collect the energy refreshes, make sure that my energy was not capped. I don't want to have to do Cosmic Crucible too, right? So therefore, I feel like that's the reason why players are just like, man, this time sync thing is just inconvenient. And I think a lot of players are just like, the timing of this event, the timing of Cosmic Crucible wasn't great because we had this month-long event. Well, here we are again with another month-long event. Then what do you do, right? So I definitely think that other activities in the game are sort of affecting the enjoyment of Cosmic Crucible. And I think that that's a little bit of a problem as well. And the game mode just kind of seems like a chore at that point. Now, some improvements that I've heard some players say that they want to see is obviously the visual thing, change of like the visual bug, like fix that. But then also the zooming out function, like where the characters look so tiny. Like they would like to see that change as well. They also did mention, like Swogo, there wanted to be a little bit of suspense in regards to, okay, I don't know, you can kind of just go in and see exactly what teams are there, and that kind of takes a little bit out of the fun out of it because you can see all 6 teams. You can kind of plan out what you want to use against them. Some players do want some suspense to be there, which I can definitely understand, but I can see where that can just be more time that is required to do the game mode. So if they are going to implement a little bit more suspense, then I would like to see them reduce the amount of time necessary for other game modes like Blitz, like Raids. I would like to see them make those changes first before they then add the suspense feature where you can only see the first 2 teams, but you can't see the last 4 teams. So you got to be really smart about your attacks. Like, I would like to see them change some other game modes first before they decide to go in that direction. Room changes would be nice too. A lot of us kind of just know exactly what to put in the rooms now. We also know exactly what counters those teams that are in those rooms. So some room changes would be nice too, but I do think that that's something that they are going to do every season. But right now we're in preseason, so I guess we kind of just got to wait to see where things go from there. But those are kind of just my quick thoughts. This video is going on longer than I expected. So kind of just want to hear what your guys' thoughts are in regards to, I'm cutting it short because I could talk about some other improvements, but I want to hear what you guys have to say too, as well, in regards to improvements that you would like to see come the Cosmic Crucible. I do think that there are some areas that definitely could use some improvement. I even probably forgot about some cons and some pros, so add those in the comments as well, guys. But appreciate you guys watching the video. I'm enjoying the game mode. I do admit though that there are some days where I'm just like, I don't want to do Cosmic Crucible, especially with, I should have said this too, it's on the weekend. Oh, I would like to not have to do Cosmic Crucible on the weekend. Let me do it during the week. On the weekend, I just want to chill out with my family, man. So that's one thing I will also say too. But listen, thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so already. Until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Bye. Oh, and hit the notification bell.